gentlemen, good day and welcome to Aptus Value Housing Q2 FY2024 earnings conference call hosted by Dolat Capital. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. Please note that this conference call may contain forward-looking statements about the company, which are based on belief, opinion, and expectation of the company as on the date of this call. These statements are not guarantees of future performance and involve risks and uncertainties that are difficult to predict. I now hand the conference over to Ms. Mona Ketan from Dolat Capital. Thank you and over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Yusuf. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the earnings call of Aptus Value Housing Finance Limited to discuss its Q2 and H1 FY24 performance. We have with us the senior management from Aptus to share industry and business updates. I now hand over to Mr. Anandan, Executive Chairman of Aptus, for his opening remarks. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mona. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to all of you. I am Anandan, Executive Chairman of the company. I welcome you all to the conference call to discuss the company performance for the second quarter and half year ending September 2023. I have with me Mr. P. Balaji, MD, Mr. C.T. Manoharan, CBO, Mr. John Vijayan, CFO. The financial results and the investor presentation are available on the website of the stock exchange as well as our companies. I hope everyone had a chance to look at it. Aptus, as you are aware, believe in growth with a due importance in the quality of the loan book with good financial metrics. We are happy to record that Aptus had a decent second quarter and also first half year FY24. Sharp business focus, deep penetration in served markets, customer centricity have enabled the company to achieve good growth. The company's performance for this period demonstrates a sustained trajectory of stability, growth, and diversified income stream. Our net worth, as you must have noticed, stands strong at over 3,500 crores, indicating robust capital adequacy. This coupled with good support from National Housing Bank, other banks, and DFIs on the borrowing side, and with strong on-ground demand for both home loans and small business loans, gives us confidence to pursue robust growth with sustained profitability in the years to come. I would now hand over the line to Mr. Balaji to discuss business focus, operating and financial parameters. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, friends. As we have been explaining in the earlier calls, we will continue our focus on two strategies, namely growing disbursement and loan book, both in housing loan and small business loans, considering the large headroom available in the low and middle income segments in Tier 3 and 4 cities. Increasing penetration in existing geographies by opening new branches and commencing operations contiguously in the states of Odisha and Maharashtra. Strengthen analytics and digital adoption. About 17% of our business in Q2 FY24 has come from construction ecosystem app, customer referral app and social media leads. Our focus shall be to increase the leads through these channels in addition to the physical branch network. Continue to focus on productivity, collection efficiencies, OpEx and cost of funds. Major performance highlights for the half year are as follows. AUM grew by 28% year-on-year to 7,604 crores. Disbursements increased by 28% year-on-year to 1,391 crores. Sequential quarter-on-quarter growth in disbursements was 15%. NIM was at 13.34%. OpEx to assets were at 2.71%. PAT was at 290 crores, 20% growth year-on-year. ROA and ROE was at 8.1% and 17% respectively. Total live customers as on 30th September was at 119,000. This represented 25% growth year on year. During the period, 19 branches were opened, and as we speak, 3 more branches have got opened. Further, we'll be opening our first branch in Maharashtra this month. Asset quality, collection efficiencies improved to 99.72% in this quarter. Our 30 plus DPD has improved by 51 basis points to 5.99% on year-on-year basis. On sequential quarter-on-quarter basis, the improvement was 28 basis points. This will be focused and improved upon in the ensuing quarters. Net NPA was at 0.89%. Provision coverage ratio has been consistently maintained at 1.06% as on 30th September. We are carrying a total provision of 81 crores, and this, when computed as a percentage of NPA, works out to a coverage of 89%. Funding, we have well-diversified borrowing. Of the total borrowing, 62% are from banks, 26% were from NHB, 7% were from NTB, and balance in the form of securitization. We have sufficient on-balance sheet liquidity of almost 974 crores, including undrawn sanctions of 300 crores from NHB and 290 crores from banks. Now, with these remarks, I open the floor for the question and answer.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handset while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. First question is from the line of Manoj Oberoi from Yes Securities. Please proceed.
So thank you for the opportunity, sir. Am I audible to you, sir?
Yes, Manoj.
Sir, I've got 3 questions. Firstly, just needed your sense on whether the strong and the improved disbursement growth momentum would continue in the coming quarters. What's the sense on that, sir?
The question was not clear, Manoj. I'm not able to hear.
Am I audible and clear now?
Yes.
Okay. So just needed your sense on whether the strong and the improved disbursement growth which we have shown in this quarter, what do you think the momentum, disbursement momentum, growth momentum would continue in the coming quarters? What's your sense on that?
Yes, that's what we are aiming for, and this will continue in the next 2 quarters as well. And that is the plan, and we are also opening more branches, which will also contribute to this momentum.
Yes, sir. Sir, any outlook on the spreads and the names you want to give?
Yes, okay. What is the question, sir? Question, Manoj?
Sir, any outlook on spreads or names?
If you look at it, we have increased the interest rate for the all live customers on the non-housing loan by 50 basis points, and this is effective from 1st of September 2023. So with the result, the NIMs which we have reported are likely to be stable for the next 2 quarters as well. And if there is a reduction in the cost of borrowing because of the NHB borrowing being drawn, we might get some increase in the NIM as well.
Understood, sir. And sir, lastly, can we see further reduction in the stage 2 bucket in the second half of this year?
Definitely, we are focusing on that. If you look at our collection efficiency, which is almost 99.72%, if it becomes 100%, obviously the stage 2 asset is likely to come down. And the whole focus of the organization and the collection team is to reduce that. So we will surely see good reduction in the stage 2 assets.
Got it, sir. That's all from my answer, and best wishes for the next quarter, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Subhranshu Mishra from Phillip Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. 2 questions actually. So the first one is about the insurance loans, which is around 2% of the AUM. Just wanted to understand what these insurance loans are. So the first. Second is, what is our 0 plus this quarter and maybe a year back? And what are the rollback rates from the 30 plus bucket? Thanks.
First, let me answer this insurance loan. Basically, these are the loans which are given for taking the insurance cover for all our customers. It is basically the credit shield premium, which is almost working out to 2 to 3% of this total sanction amount. Of that, we are giving it to the customers because since the amount of premium is going to be slightly bigger, these kind of customers will not be able to afford it, so we are giving it as a loan. And this gets classified as a non-housing loan in our book, and that is for the coverage of life of the customer.
Sir, just one clarification on the insurance loan. So essentially, if I take a home loan, it is you are essentially giving me another loan for the insurance attachment that is required for the home loan. Is that a fair understanding?
Yes.
Sir, is this allowed under excellent regulations?
It is. As long as it is not getting classified as housing loan, it is getting classified as non-housing loan, it is allowed.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
And the rest of the questions, sir?
Can you repeat the next question, because we are not...
What is the 0 plus in this quarter and a year ago, sir? And what is the rollback rates from 30 plus buckets?
See, look at last time it was almost 8 last quarter 1 plus was 8.5%. Now it is reduced to 8%. And it was almost 10% last year at the same time.
And the rollback rates from the first bucket, sir?
What is that? I didn't understand that.
The rollback rate, sir. What is getting cured in the first bucket which rolls back into the regular?
Lodi is 94%. Sorry, 89% last time. Now it has become 92%.
Right. Sure, sir. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Before we move to the next question, a reminder to the participant, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1. Next question is from the line of Raghav Garg from Ambit Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity, sir. I have 2 questions. One is, what was your AUM growth in Tamil Nadu for this quarter?
The AUM growth for the half year was 13%. It is there in the presentation as well, and the growth in Tamil Nadu is 13%. We are seeing some attrition there in the Tamil Nadu, so that's why the loan book growth is not that high in this state. And there were problems in at the recruitment level.
So sorry, I could not get you. The line is not very clear. Could you repeat the last part, please?
No, actually what has happened is there were some attrition at Tamil Nadu, both at the cluster manager and the area manager level. Now, because of that, just to add to what Balai said, at the portfolio level, we had a growth of about 28%. And within that, Tamil Nadu, we had a growth of 13%. Whereas in Andhra, Telangana and other places, we had a growth of over 35%. In Tamil Nadu, we had in the first quarter, our attrition at the branch manager level slightly higher, but then it got corrected, resulting in the second quarter, our disbursements already gone up to 15% over first quarter, and we are very confident of maintaining this trend in the third and fourth quarter also, resulting in that we are confident of meeting the projected growth that we indicated of around 35% for the current year.
But sir, if I look at last 2 quarters as well, 1Q24 and 4Q23, the growth was somewhere between 15-16%. Still lower than what you're delivering at the overall AUM level. Why is that the case, despite you just having about 3,000 crores of AUM in that state?
Yeah, as I've explained to you that we have our disbursement itself was slightly lower in the first quarter. You must have observed that. we have discussed this was about 645 crores, and that has gone up to 740 crores in the second quarter, and we are confident of improving it further in the third quarter. So, in other words, a slight lower disbursement in the first quarter has happened in Tamil Nadu, as mentioned, that there is an attrition at the field level, slightly higher than our budget, which has been corrected already, and now the disbursements have come back to normal as reflected in the second quarter itself, and going forward it will improve further.
Sir, my question was actually pertaining to the previous quarters, but I'll take it another time. I'll get to my second question, which is, so you mentioned that you set up one branch in Maharashtra. I just wanted to understand how are you building up business in Maharashtra? Have you hired a team from Maharashtra, or and as well, if you're hiring a new person, a new business head for the expansion in West, just a flavor on this would be very helpful as to how you're building business in Maharashtra. Yeah, thank you.
Our branch expansion strategy is always that we go deep into a particular state, and also on a continuous basis we open new branches. For example, we have opened our first branch in Odisha in a place called Behranpur, which is almost very close to a place called Srikakulam in Vizag. So similarly, in Maharashtra, we'll be opening a branch in Nanded, which will be around 70-80 kilometers from a place called Nizamabad, where we are already having operations. So the control will be from Nizamabad. Of course, the team has been set in Maharashtra. We have appointed a cluster manager there who will be responsible for opening more branches there, and we have already set up the branch team, and also the legal, technical, and all of them are in place. So we just have to open the branch and start the business there.
Sir, is the team hired locally, or have you...
It has always been our strategy to recruit people locally, whether it is Odisha or Maharashtra or any new state where we enter, we will recruit local people.
Thank you, sir. That was all from my side.
Yeah.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, to ask a question, you may press star and 1.
System only.
Next question is from the line of Pranav Gupta from Inus Alpha Investment Managers. Please proceed.
Hello.
Mr. Pranav, your line is unmuted. Please proceed.
Yeah, hi. Am I audible clearly?
Yes.
Yeah, hi sir. Good afternoon and congratulations on a good set of numbers. I have 2 questions. So first one is, like last quarter we saw that Aptus declared dividend. Just wanted to check with you if there is any dividend policy that the board has formulated. If so, then what is it, and can you explain any future dividends that you might pay out?
Dividend policy, right?
So, actually, as we have explained last meeting, that the company, we do have a policy on dividend, and as you know, we have declared the dividend, of FY2023, and FY2024 also, the board will take the dividend decision at the appropriate time in the possibly in the third quarter meeting and or in the fourth quarter meeting. And we do have a broad dividend policy in terms of considering our after-tax profit, and also considering the need to really be seen as a dividend-paying company, which we believe is standing good stead. The board will decide an appropriate percentage of dividend going forward.
Okay, just as a follow-up to that question, like you had mentioned last time on the call, that these dividend payouts are largely to lead the business to an optimal leverage level that you think is okay. So is there any thought on when and if we might end up stop paying dividends, and any optimal leverage level that we're targeting eventually?
Okay, we cannot really, I don't think we made a decision at the board level to stop making the dividends, that to start paying the dividends and all. But we have evolved a policy of paying dividends on a regular basis going forward, and at an appropriate rate, in line with our party of tax, in line with our policy in terms of the dividend payout ratio, which is sustainable for us, in the future as well.
Sure. That answers my first question. So the second question is on the growth part. You mentioned that you started opening branches on a contiguous manner in Odisha, and we will also be opening our first branch in Maharashtra this quarter. Could you talk about the process that we go through in terms of assessing the opportunity when we decide to open a new open a branch in a new state? Could you talk about the process and what sort of opportunity you see in these two new states, that is Odisha and Maharashtra?
Yeah. How we go about opening the branches is, first of all, we do a clean market study on what is the kind of market, what kind of people, what is the culture of the people, what are the repayment ability, and what is the repayment culture of the people, and also the business done by other NBFCs and HFCs, and what are the kind of delinquencies they are experiencing, and those kind of things. And then we come to a conclusion on what kind of industrial activity is happening, what kind of self-employed customers are there, which is our target segment. So based on that, we have the database, and based on that, we open the branches. And that's how we go along opening branches in the new states as well.
Sure. So just one last question. You mentioned that we've taken a 50 basis points pricing hike in this quarter, that is September of this year. Could you talk about what is the frequency with which we if this rate hike is taken in September, does it become applicable immediately, or is there a repricing mechanism that flows over the next couple of quarters?
So the price hike which we have taken is effective from 1st September, and it is not effective with a lag. It has got implemented, and it is being effective from 1st September.
Right. So any repricing, whether upwards or onwards in the future, is typically done, is made into effect immediately.
See, normally our philosophy is to absorb the increase in the interest cost by way of operational efficiencies. If the interest cost is going beyond that and resulting in NIM compression, we get into this policy of increasing the interest rate. So with that in mind, we have done this 0.5% increase, and we will be observing the interest cost increase also very closely, and based on that, the decision will be taken on whether to increase the interest rates to our customers or decrease the interest rates.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Arul Selvan from Independent Advisors Private Limited. Please proceed. Current questioner removed himself from the question queue, so we will move to the next question from the line of Sonal Gandhi from Centrum Broking. Please proceed.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity, sir. The line is not very clear, so I just wanted to understand what was it that we spoke about cost of funding. Do we expect it to go up from here, or we expect it to remain at a similar level? And what is the NHB sanction limit that we have at the moment?
Let me explain you this. See, if you look at our corporate build-up, there are two companies. One is the housing finance company, the other one is the NBFC. And in the NBFC, we do the small business loans, we charge 21% interest there, and in the housing finance company, we charge anywhere between 14 to 15% on the housing loans. So the interest cost depends on that, and in the housing finance company, we have the benefit of this NHB refinance. And the incremental borrowings, we are rating between 8.25 to 8.3% in the housing finance company, around 0.25 to 0.5% more in the NBFC company. So it is the function of these two that is playing a part in the cost of funds that is getting increased to us. If you look at our June quarter cost of funds, it was around 8.3%, and after that it has become 8.41%. This is basically because we have increased our borrowings in our NBFC, where it is slightly expensive as compared to the housing finance company's borrowings. Now, going forward, we have got this NHB sanction, which is around 300 crores, which will have an interest rate at least 0.5% lesser than the market rate. So to that extent, there can be a savings in the cost of funds. But again, the market being market, the cost of funds are going up. So we actually don't know how the markets are going to go up and what will be our cost of funds on the NBFC. So with the result, the cost of funds, which was at 8.41% because of this 300 crore sanction, which will be drawn from NHB and also the NBFC borrowings, it should settle around 8.45 to 8.5% for this year.
Okay. Second, sir, in Tamil Nadu, there is another NBFC which is growing very, very fast, very aggressive. So is there, some attrition, probably because of this NBFC wherein we are losing the talent and that is impacting our disbursements? Or they become more aggressive. That's where we are kind of losing customers. Not losing, but our growth rate has kind of come down. If you could just give some color on that.
Let me explain. See, I don't know which NBFC you are talking about. If I am able to get what you are talking, I think they are not our competitors. First of all, let's be very clear on that, because they are in a different segment and it's a completely different segment. And we are not losing people to them. But the thing is what has happened is 5 years back there were not many companies operating in any of the areas where we are operating. Now there is competition. So people want to go to some other company, and then what has happened is after seeing those places they come back to us as well. So that's what is happening, and attrition is normal. Even in banks the attritions are very high. So it is actually how do we manage that attrition and how do we still grow is the one which we need to work on, and we'll be working on that.
So actually, just to add a point here that the attrition rate for us, if you look at our staffing in 3 levels, in terms of the senior most, middle, and at the field-facing jobs at the branch level, our attrition rates are much lower at the senior level, at the middle management level. Even at the branch level, our attrition rate is one of the best in the industry, one of the lowest in the industry. But then, being a significant and well-known player in the southern markets, any company wanting to enter, obviously, they look at the successful existing companies. To that extent, we had slightly little more than the budgeted attrition in the state of Tamil Nadu for a short period. And as I mentioned, that has been corrected, and it has been also reflected in our business in the second quarter itself and in our confidence level in the third and fourth quarter going forward. And the fact that we are very confident of meeting whatever budgeted growth rate that we indicated in the disbursements as well as in the loan book.
Okay. So, sir, are we still targeting 30% plus AUM growth? That's right.
Not clear, please.
Our AUM growth target remains at 30% plus. Is that understanding right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Right.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Jigar Jani from BNK Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir. Thank you for taking my question. So on the interest rate hike, I believe we had also taken a 50 basis rate hike on the non-HL portfolio and SBL portfolio from 1st August. That is implemented, right? already?
It is actually effective from 1st September. There is only one increase in the interest rate hike, which is 0.5% on the non-housing loans, all live customers. But it is effective only from 1st September and not from 1st August.
Okay. And this, we are not doing any hikes on the housing portfolio. This is only the one which you are mentioning is for the same one that you mentioned in the last answer or the last call.
One second. If you look at the interest rates, what we have done, in November 22, we have done the 0.5% increase for the housing loan customers.
Okay.
After that, we have not done anything for the housing loan customers. In September 23, for all non-housing loan customers, we have increased the interest rates by 0.5%.
Okay, understood. So the whatever was given in 1st of August is being taken at 1st September, basically, but same thing. Yeah. So, and on when you say that your disbursement run rates or trend would remain the same, so would it be fair to say that we are targeting 15% kind of sequential increase in disbursements going ahead as well?
Your question is not clear. We're not able to hear properly.
Yeah. So, what is this better? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. Is this better?
Slightly better, but yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I was asking is, basically you said that the disbursement trend that you have seen in this quarter is likely to continue going ahead as well. So would that imply that you're targeting 15% kind of sequential increase over the next 2 quarters as well?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Understood. And just sorry, the line was a bit hazy. So your borrowing cost for housing finance company is 8.25 to 8.5, and for the
let me explain. Yeah, 8.25 to 8.3.
Okay, and the NBFC is 25 bits higher than the
25 to 50 basis points more. Yes.
Okay, understood. Thank you so much for answering my questions.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Ms. Mona Ketan from Dolat Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir. So I had a few questions. So firstly, if you look at the spreads over the last 2 years or so, or 2.5 years rather, they've settled at higher levels versus in the past. So maybe almost 100 bits higher, partly also owing to the rating upgrade that you had during this time. So could we expect this kind of spread between 8.5% to 9% to sort of continue, or could they normalize over time at lower levels?
No, as we have been explaining on the call, the yields which we are generating are sustainable because of the product mix. So with the result, the spread which we are having around 8.8% as of now is likely to be maintained between 8.5% to 9%. Yeah, Mama.
Sorry, so you said that 8.5% to 9% should be
sustainable. Yes, yes.
Sustainable. Okay, okay. Secondly, how are our incremental cost of borrowing, both on the NBFC and the HFC books?
Yeah, just now we explained. See, what is happening in housing finance company, we are getting terms at between 8.25 to 8.3%, and for the NBFC it is 0.25 to 0.5% more than this.
Okay, so this is the incremental borrowing cost from that.
Borrowing cost, yes. Yes.
Okay, okay. And your OPEX was higher by about 20% sequentially. So is it largely to do with the branch expansion, or there's more?
Yes, it is basically to do with the branch expansion. We have 20 branches open and almost 300 to 350 people have joined additionally. That is one. And also we have been saying that we are strengthening the middle management as well, both in IT, compliance, credit, finance, everywhere. So that is also added to the cost.
Okay. And we intend to add about how many branches per year?
Around 30 to 35 every year.
Okay, okay. And if you could also talk about the BT outs during the quarter.
If you look at the pre-closure research, it is around 8%, the total pre-closures. Of that, almost 5.5% is from own source of the customers. So the BT out is working out around 2.5%, which has remained consistent for the last 3-4 quarters, and this is likely to be maintained.
Okay. And across your, just to touch upon the rate hikes, so across both your HL book and the non-HL book, during this cycle, you've raised rates by 50 basis.
Yes.
Okay. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thanks, ma'am.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Arul Selvat from Independent Advisors Private Limited. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I have a few questions. The first one is regarding your disbursement for this quarter. I just wanted to know what could be the breakup of this disbursement between the HFC and the NBFC.
Around 500 crores out of 745 crores, around 500 to 520 crores is in the housing finance company and the balance is in the NBFC.
Okay. Now, the next question I have is in terms of your guidance. I understand that the overall AUM guidance growth for the full year FY24 is about 30%. Now, is there, if I break that up between the HFC and the NBFC, is there, what would be the numbers specifically for both of these segments?
Housing will be out of 3,400 crores or 3,200 crores which we are targeting for this year. Almost 2,200 crores will be in the HFC and the balance will be in the NBFC.
Okay. I understand, sir. Now, another final question that I have is that, of late, I think there was some concerns at the macroeconomic level with RBI flagging certain risks of unsecured lending. I was just wondering if you were seeing any sort of spillover effects, that are happening in your collection operations, or are you kind of largely seeing relatively higher amounts of repayment rates? I understand. I'm talking about some guidance in the future instead of no. I know the numbers for this quarter. Some color about expected bounce rates or expected collection rates would be helpful over here.
So first of all, ours is a secured loan, which is almost all the loans are secured by self-occupied residential property. So we are not seeing any unsecured. Yeah, that's it. So there we are not seeing that. So we don't have any. So bounce rates are consistent around 15 to 20% for us, and we don't see any variations in that in the coming quarters as well. And collection efficiencies are likely to go up only.
I'm sorry, sir?
And the collection efficiencies are likely to go up only.
Okay. I understand. That's it from my end, and all the best for the future. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, to ask a question, you may press star and 1. Participants, to ask a question, you may press star and 1 on your touchtone telephone. Sir, we don't have any questions in the queue.
Mona?
Yeah, hi sir. So should we go ahead and close the call?
If there are no questions, I think it's good.
As there are no further questions, I would now like to hand the conference over to the management for the closing comments.
Thank you, Yusuf and Mona, for organizing this conference call. I would like to pay my sincere gratitude to all analysts and investor friends for taking time out have their busy schedule to listen to us today. Please feel free to connect with us in case you have any further queries. We would be happy to get back to you. Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of Dolat Capital Markets Private Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you all for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.